If you want to customize the home screen on Google Pixel 10, then let me show you what you can do. And let's start with apps. Of course, if you want to, you can add apps from the app drawer to the home screen. So let's say I can add, I don't know, like Google Maps over here. I can press and hold my finger on the app, and if I start moving it, I can drag and drop it pretty much anywhere. We can also create new pages, of course. If you move all the way to the right, you should be able to find this blank page. So you can drop your app, for example, over here in order to create a new page. We can, of course, move everything to the new page if you want to. You can just press and hold your finger on a widget, folder, or app in order to move it around. Besides that, you can remove them by pressing and holding your finger on them. And then once you do so, if you start moving these apps or widgets, then you should be able to find remove at the top over here. It can be placed here in the middle of the screen or more to the left side. But if you drop something on this remove section, then of course it will be removed from the home screen. And as you can see, we have apps, widgets, and also folders. We can create folders as well. If you want to actually create a folder, what you have to do is simply press and hold your finger on the app again and just drop it on top of another app. And there we go, we have created a folder. We can keep adding apps to the folder the same way. If you want to remove a folder, you can just do the same thing as you do with apps. As you can see, if I start moving it, at the top over here we have remove, or you can open the folder and you can drag every app outside of that folder. And if there is just one app left, then we have no folder at all. We can tap on the folder, of course, in order to open it. And at the bottom we have the name, which we can, of course, customize. So you can name your folders as you wish them to be named. And that's it. Now, we have widgets as well. If you want to add a widget, you can just press and hold your finger on an empty area in the home screen, and then we have widgets. So let's go ahead, open it. We have some essential or example widgets over here. And if you scroll down, you should be able to find apps that have widgets, that offer some widgets. So let's say I'm gonna go to let's say translate over here, and we have some example widgets. You can press and hold your finger on the widget in order to add it to the home screen, and there we go. In some cases, we can also resize these widgets. You just have to grab them by these circles that we have on sides. In some cases, these resize options are limited. In some cases, we cannot resize a widget at all. It actually depends on the widget itself. And one more thing that I missed about pages, home screen pages, I mean, you can remove pages as well, of course, but in order to do that, you actually have to either move everything from a page to a different page or just remove completely from the home screen. Essentially, you want to get rid of everything from the page, so you have to manually do something with your stuff in the page, on the page, I mean, in order to remove the page. So a little bit annoying and inconvenient, but this is what we can do. Besides that, in terms of widgets, we can also press and hold our finger on an app. So let's say if I press and hold my finger on YouTube app, then over here we also have widgets, so you can just immediately see widgets from YouTube. And you can do something with them. You can add them, for example, to the home screen, of course. And I think that's it in terms of widgets and apps and folders and pages as well. But in addition to that, you can press and hold your finger on in an empty space again in order to find, for example, home settings, where we have just a little bit of customization. Over here we have at a glance, which is this widget over here at the top. Unfortunately, we cannot remove this widget, just like we cannot remove this Google search bar at the bottom. Well, the only way to actually remove them is by using a custom launcher, so a little bit inconvenience. Besides that, we can, for example, disable suggestions in the app drawer or the home screen. We can also prevent new apps to be added to the home screen. So if you install a new app, then it is automatically added to the home screen. You can disable that option over here. There is also the landscape mode, which allows you to use the home screen in a rotated option, in a rotated screen actually. But we cannot manually turn it back. Well, we cannot automatically, turn it back into the portrait mode. In order to do so, you just have to disable the landscape mode over here. And of course, wallpapers. The shortcuts wallpaper and style. You can quickly change a wallpaper by just choosing any of these options that you have over here. And you can also just jump to wallpaper and style settings like this, which is of course also just accessible in settings in general. And furthermore, over there we can also find some additional options, like for example the themed icons. So you can change colors for these icons and apply the theme color, which is chosen over here in colors. And of course we have a layout, so you can make apps a little bit smaller or maybe even bigger if you want to. And I think that's pretty much it. If I remember correctly, that should be all that we can do in the home screen. Thanks for watching, leave a like and subscribe.